Tak, jdeme na to.
Okay, let's go. Trend number 1. Global labor mobility. For the last 3 decades, the Czech labor market has been stealing from the Ukrainian one. This changed in February last year when Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin discovered he has Parkinson's disease, psychopathic tendencies and micropenis. He decided to solve his personal and health problems by enlarging the territory of the Russian Federation by 3.5%. The wave of solidarity that has risen has opened doors for the Ukrainians throughout Europe, the US and Canada, and the Czech Republic has thus lost its precious pool of cheap labor. Employment agencies are now forced to look for new destinations. In cooperation with employment agencies, masters and slaves, and almost legal, we've put together an exclusive tip on a region that is proving to be key in the new geopolitical recruitment map to ensure you don't miss the boat and stay competitive. What is the name of this new champion with the best price-performance ratio, the successor to the poor Ukraine? If you had to choose from the whole Evolve Summit to remember 3 words, it should be Papua New Guinea, a gold mine of human resources. Ukraine version 2.0. It turns out that Papuans are willing to work for an hourly wage, 2 papayas, 1 rainbow glass bowl. They are also only slightly more expensive than comparably skilled workers from Romania and Mongolia. They, however, can easily pocket them their earthy enthusiasm and skill. Papuans are best suited to the lines of packaging and case factories with which they have a wealth of experience and which have an almost spiritual significance for them. While Western teenagers buy personalized cases for their most precious possession, it means iPhone, from the Apple Store, Papuans have been making their own cases for their favorite toy for generations. Themselves. It would be reprehensible not to use the talent of Papuans in the Czech industry as well, but also in services. In the tertiary sphere, the following are the main employment opportunities: security in supermarkets, hairdressers, makeup artists of movie stars, spokespersons of Vladimir Franz, and also some arm extras at Prague Pride. So that people finally start taking the LGBT community fucking seriously. The only disadvantage of employing Papuans is their clumsiness in relocating. They often hook themselves with piercings, skewers and spears on other employees and customers. In rare cases, tragic work accident with permanent consequences can occur, such as when 2 assembly workers in Česká Třebová recently had their eyes gouged out by a penis. Trend number 2, hybrid system. The coronavirus pandemic has left no stone unturned in the working world. Employees found themselves in the home office in a no-man's land where time and pens do not exist. Just constantly changing from night pajamas to day pajamas and back again. You try to make jokes in video conferences, but it's not even remotely funny. While half of the people had to increase their Prozac doses because of this, the other half like it so much that they never want to physically go to work again in their lives. Who of you is that? I am. Corporate opinion is equally divided though. Half of the companies like the fact that when people are at home, there is no need to pay for premises, energy, happiness manager and coffee. But the other half want people back in their offices because they fear that unsupervised employees will spend most of their time masturbating. So we find ourselves in a schizophrenic situation where half of the companies are luring luring their people back to the office for relaxation zones, ping-pong tables, pool tables and virtual reality, while the other half would prefer never to see any of their employees again and could close their offices. Which side is right? Which way will development go? What are you supposed to do as a company when half of your employees want to work from the office and half from home? Or if they are not explicitly dedicated and want to socialize one day and masturbate the next? Until recently, an unsolvable riddle. But some companies have already rushed with an experiment which could be the answer. It's called a hybrid system. Hire offices half the size and rotate employees in them. Half are always in the office, half at home. Half the savings, full the satisfaction. It's great, says account manager Dushan, headhunter from Engage Advisory. When I'm socially deprived, I go to work. When my dick is tingling, I stay at home. Companies that have already implemented the hybrid system report a 40% increase in psychological well-being, a 90% decrease in sexual harassment, and shorter queues for the restrooms. Sounds like a fairy tale. But does the hybrid system have any disadvantages? We asked Roman the Foreskin from Ahold, who was the first to introduce the hybrid system in the country. First at cash desks in Albert supermarket. And then higher in the corporate hierarchy. We asked him if the hybrid system brings within any complications. He replied, in order to rotate the employees in the office, we had to introduce so-called floating workstations. You don't have your permanent desk anymore, but you sit wherever there's a vacancy. That caused confusion at first. People suffered from decision paralysis. For one of our marketeers, it washed away a trauma from his childhood when he was playing musical chair, and one girl stole his chair. She was nicknamed Godzilla. But it slowly settled down. They like that every day this is different, that every day they have a picture of a different family on their desk. They love that. That helps them at least partially escape the sadness and tragedy of the sexual deprivation of a monogamous union. Trend number 3, age management. Some people are old. It's not a pretty sight, but it's coming for all of us. And worse, as unemployment in the Czech Republic is still at an all-time low, companies are increasingly forced to employ elderly people. And that causes problems. Old people are grumpy. They demand higher pay and prostate breaks. They suffer from rigidity of thought. They can't talk on the phone without buttons, and they don't have TikTok. All of this, together with the strange licorice smell and the constant unwelcome reminder of our mortality, has a bad effect on the atmosphere in work teams and decreases the company's happiness index. That's why there is a new service called Age Management. Specially trained specialists from the Department of Gerontology, Gerontopsychiatry and Gerontophilia can help you painlessly integrate senior people into your company culture. Everything is outsourced. You are asked to do nothing more than, when you hire anyone 40 plus, have them sign one document along with the other hiring documents in which they agree to complete a unique 14-day course called Youth or Being Young All the Time before they start work. In it, they will learn, among other things, not to eat the food until they take a picture of it and post it on Instagram, keep the hacky sack in the air for 1 minute, to dye their hair, communicate only with gifts, making YouTube videos of themselves unpacking boxes, and English at such an advanced level that they will be able to understand what Billie Eilish sighs. All this helps to bridge the value gap between the earlier and later born, and to have a team that defies the calendar once and for all, even in the face of increasingly threatening demographic curve.
Trend number 4. More companies are facing the situation when they want to focus on employees' well-being. They realize that their employees are not really at their best mentally. So say yippee if it's your case. Me neither. While 5 years ago, the most common reasons of psychological discomfort were following: excessive work stress, burnout syndrome, requiring constant availability on the phone, the pointlessness of a job that does not feel good for anyone, and the insufficient value of food vouchers. However, nowadays, they have been replaced in the top positions by the following: energy crisis, climate catastrophe, war, pandemics, and the threat of a nuclear apocalypse. While in 2017, people in corporate training voted most often for English, time management, presentation skills, today, the most popular topic is by far civil defense education, mindfulness, to learn to suppress panic attacks and not to think all day long that humanity is fucked, and construction of underground shelters. The demand for mental and practical skills that will be crucial in the twilight of humanity is so high that Mindfulness Club and the Ministry of Defense have joined their forces to, at the beginning of next year, introduce a unique e-learning course called Armageddon Yoga. In this course, you will learn, among other things, to consciously breathe during a nerve gas attack, to stop negative thoughts and bleeding, also a set of positive affirmations for COVID-positive people, or how to hunt down a squirrel with keys, a tie, and a credit card. Plus, anyone who's in the final e-learning course test scores above 90% will win a harmonizing bottle with a bioenergy chip that converts urine into harmonized urine. So, thank you very much for your attention. That was 2022. And since then, things didn't get better.